Hey guys, welcome to Cooking at Home, our new channel. And today we're going to do beans and rice because it's super cold outside. And it's very simple. We got red kidney beans, got a little bit of white long grain rice, some andouille sausage, ham hocks for smokiness, and then bell peppers, onions, tomato, garlic, and jalapenos.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep,
those ham hocks smell delicious.
Yeah, it does. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to break down the sausage real quick because we want to render out some of the fat of the sausage to cook our veg in. So we got two real nice looking sausages.
A nice knife you're working with too.
It's beautiful, yes. I'm just going to slice it down the middle. I'm not freaking out about the size, just chunky little bits that you could just imagine a spoonful of beans. You don't want too big.
Bite-sized pieces.
Bite-sized pieces. So now we're going to get all this sausage in the pan with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to reduce some of that fat, and that fat, that flavored fat, pork fat, is what's going to cook down all our veg. A little bit of olive oil. Maybe a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons.
Sounds about right.
But right in, you're gonna hear it.
Yeah.
But that's good. Nothing crazy. Putting in the cold sausage is gonna looking good. Start off with some bell peppers. Bell peppers are gonna bring sweetness. I really like them. This is how I like to break down bell peppers. You can break down bell peppers however you want. I take the butt end off, I take the top hat off, and then one movement straight down, and all that does is it separates it. Now we can get off all of this membrane and seeds. You can save these for stock, you can use them however you'd like. Then, this is going to seem a little intimidating, I promise you it isn't. Just keep it flat. Dave, can you see that?
Yep.
Just get just under. You can even see my blade edge. And you see my fingers aren't by it. I'm not going to hurt myself. All I'm doing is I'm removing the membrane because it doesn't have a lot of great flavor. And it inhibits this. We take it off one little big chunks off of it. And look how beautiful that pepper looks now.
Yeah, that's good.
Now it's not going to be necessary in a pot of beans. You're never going to see those.
No, not necessary. One of these things.
And then all I'm going to do is just a little juliennes of it. So these little juliennes or batagnes, whatever you want to call them, get a group of them to the side. Now we got them in little strips. Again, just make a little dice on it.
So if you cut it this time the same thickness as you cut it last time,
you should get close to a nice square.
Pretty good cubes. Yeah.
But I'm not freaking out about it.
What do you think about taking the skin off your bell peppers all the time?
Well, if I was on Top Chef and Tom Colicchio was my judge, I'd probably do it. But the fact of the matter is, I don't buy into this. There's a lot of bourgeoisie things that chefs do that I just do not buy into. You're a big believer in not peeling anything.
I don't. Yeah, I really don't peel.
So why would we
melons, maybe
take the skin off of bell pepper? An onion. Put these bell peppers in here. That looks nice. Onion, dice, horizontal to the board.
What do you say about watching out for your fingers, Audie?
I think that no onion is worth the top of your fingers. So I don't risk them. That's nice. little dice. So now we're going to throw in these veg. We're going to get them started. So I'm just going to go right in. So take a look. Like a good size pinch. Nothing crazy. This also activates the hygroscopic property of salt and starts to leach out the liquids from the onion and the bell pepper. All that delicious flavor is just going to go, it's going to get sucked into our beans. So a little bit
good.
Yeah, I think so too. Don't be scared of black pepper.
Love the black pepper.
I love fresh cracked tomatoes. I'm just going to that off. The way I like to do tomatoes, especially if it may seem a little bit wasteful, but I'm just gonna cut them into quarters. I take each quarter, and right here, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get the flesh of the tomato. I'm not looking for all of that right there. So we've got a nice fleshy.
What do you have against the good parts, man?
I don't have anything against it. I'm just big old chunky bits. None of this is going to actually survive the cooking process. It's just going to add delicious flavor. Alright. David kind of guilted me into it, so I'll just show you another easy way. Just make fat slices of your tomato. To the side, then I'll take a couple of slices, go down, turn the whole thing over, go down. There we go, diced tomatoes.
Looking good. Oh, dude, it smells fucking fantastic, my brother.
Thanks, man. I think it's going to taste good. And listen, we haven't even played around with some of the fun seasonings that like we're going to get into in just a little bit. I just want to get kind of everything in the pot before we get the beans and the ham hocks in there. So right now I'm going to break down some garlic. You have this gorgeous mortar and pestle, and so I'm going to use that. You could run your knife through it and mince it. That would also not be an issue. Just going to throw that in there. We're going to smash it until it's a nice paste. I like to, once you get it down, at this point, I like to add just a pinch of salt, just as an abrasive to break down that garlic.
Oh, let me get in there. Hang on. Still a little bit chunky.
Yeah.
Get mashed up real good though. All right.
It smells fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That right there, I am real happy with, because that's absolutely going to dissolve into the beans and the flavor by the time we serve that.
I would eat that with a spoon.
Oh, that's probably annoying, but
We've had a lot of comments about the sounds of everything.
driving them crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could accept that. That's fair, Chris.
Cody said the butchery video sounded like someone stirring a pot of mac and cheese.
Take the top off.
What chili is this?
This is just a couple jalapenos. Cut down the middle.
Jalapenos. Can I have a bite?
Sure can.
Yeah, give me a nice chunk.
There you go, my friend.
Alright, where's yours?
No, you said you wanted a bite. You're the sicko that wants to do like these kind of challenges. Get all this out of here. Right here, this seed and stem, that's where all the capsaicin's
Not a
at.
challenge, Audie. This is real life. Mmm.
It's got a little bit of heat on it.
Oh yeah. It's nice and grassy.
Oh. Well, that's good. And I'm not freaking out about getting every single seed.
No, you
off.
better get every last one.
What? Again. And
How are we
then
gonna wipe them down?
we're just gonna just tick them down there.
Just little wee slices. I think that'll be good, yeah.
It's all gonna break up anyways, so.
Now I want another piece.
You can have, there you go.
I got one.
So, tomatoes, jalapeno, a little bit of mashed up garlic.
Garlic.
Again,
As Emerald says.
garlic. Again, it's very important that you season this layer as well. Otherwise, we're going to get behind, essentially. But, all right. Just because I want to start with, we were talking about cayenne, so here we are. I'll take a look at this, Dave.
All right, give me a good old estimation here.
A pinch.
I'd
Like
say
that.
that's about a third of a teaspoon. Maybe half a teaspoon if you like it a little spicier.
A little bit of coriander. Good amount.
That's a good solid teaspoon there.
Yeah. And cumin. How do you define cumin? I want to define it like it tastes like Southwest America.
It's a very savory spice, yes. Has a very unique flavor.
Say a good
and
tablespoon,
aroma.
Maybe a tablespoon.
Yeah, it's a solid tablespoon there. Mexican food, classically
Yeah.
seasoned heavily with cumin.
It's got smoky qualities.
A little bit smoky. There's a little spice to it. Very earthy and savory. Oh, and it smells fantastic.
And a little bit of pepper.
You know what might be a good way to describe it? Taco seasoning.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Taco seasoning flavor. That's cumin.
All right.
So everything's softened up, eh?
Yeah, we're great right now. Now, seriously, we're at a place where it's... You've done all the hard work at this point.
And it was real hard work.
And it was real hard work, right? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to throw in beans. We're going to throw in our ham hocks. Dave and I will talk a little bit about ham hocks. We're going to throw in stock. Bring it up to a boil, drop it down to a simmer, cover it, and cook it until the beans are done. We're guessing 2 hours?
Normally, something like that. Maybe a little
2
longer.
hours, just depends. So the goal is that by the time the beans are cooked, the meat on these ham hocks have gotten to a place where they're tender enough where we can tear them apart, cut them off, chop them down, and then just add that meat back in with the andouille sausage and the beans. Serve it with a little bit of rice.
And how is this like processed?
So these right here have been smoke roasted. So they've been cooked to a safe level.
Fully cooked already.
Fully cooked already. We could eat it right now, although
Yeah.
it'd be very, very tough.
Yeah.
And that's because there's a lot of connective tissue within the meat itself that has not broken down yet. But yeah, that's all we're gonna do right now. Throw in the beans, throw in the ham hocks, throw in some chicken stock, bringing it up to a simmer, and covering it until the beans are done. Then we'll cook some white rice later. How's that sound?
Sounds fucking
I
delicious.
think it
to
sounds
me.
good.
Are you picky about picking beans?
No, I used to, but I'm not really now.
It's not so bad these days, for
And
the
you
most
know,
part.
and the fact of the matter is yeah, it would absolutely suck if you served beans. So the idea, you pick the beans to make sure there are no rocks that you're
Or
serving to
little
your
chunks
guests.
of dirt or
Right.
sticks or something, yeah.
But for the purposes of this video, and you and I are the only ones that are going to actually try
If I
it.
break a tooth, you're paying for it.
All right, sounds good. Now, it's going to seem like we're not
So,
adding...
what kind of beans are we using?
These are some red kidney beans, traditional beans for red beans and rice.
Is that because they're called red beans, you think?
Oh, they look kind of purpley pink to me, but I wasn't consulted when they named the beans.
What would you have called them? Purple beans?
Yeah.
If you're asking me, I think it looks bloody delicious, Audie.
Yeah, we're going to be real happy with the outcome.
So what do we got there?
Just a little bit of chicken stock. We have done a video on David's channel about making proper chicken stock, and we had the opportunity to make it today and decided we didn't want to spend the time to do it. We also know that a lot of you out there are busy, hardworking people that don't have the time to sit around and make stock for 4 hours. I have absolutely no problem using box stock. if homemade stock isn't available. The only thing I would have you take into consideration is you want to get low to no sodium stock. You want to use, you want to be able to season it yourself.
How much stock are we adding to the whole pot?
So we got 32 ounces, so we're looking at
Last time I counted, ounces. That's a quart.
Yeah, so
48 ounces, quart and a half,
something like that.
Ish.
Yeah, and
or really just enough to cover
everything, huh? Right? And then at this point, we're going to let it. Now, look, you can already see. I don't know if your camera's picking that up, Dave, but
I'm picking it. You're laying it down.
There's a viscous quality to the liquid already, and that's just the natural starch from the beans leaching out into your cooking liquid. That's going to create a fantastic, like, gravy quality to our beans and rice, which is what we want. What we want is be able to you be happy enough to serve this for dinner, right?
Yeah.
Right now we're just going to let this go until it gets up to a boil, drop it down to a simmer, and then cook it until it's done. So as you can see, it's been cooking for, I don't know, 2 hours, something like that. It's got like a real gravy consistency.
Nice and thick.
Everything looks fantastic.
Beans are cooked through?
Yeah, the beans are just done. And now these ham hocks, oh, you can see how the meat has separated.
It's about to fall off the bone.
Yes, it is. And what we want to do is we want to get all the meat off of this without completely giving ourselves second and third degree burns. So we're going to let this just kind of chill at room temperature. Just get this out, let them cool down, and once they've cooled down and we can work with them, we're going to shred all the meat off of it and then fold that meat right back in to the beans. And then at that point, it's make a little bit of white rice and you're done.
I agree, Audie. This is the best way to cook fluffy white rice.
I think you're the one that showed me this method, but
might be, yeah.
At any rate, it is the single best way to cook rice so that it doesn't. We're not looking for sushi rice. We want individual grains of rice.
Fluffy.
And so, as you can see, we got a pot of water right here. We didn't even measure it. It doesn't even really matter. What you need to make sure of is that you don't add too little amount of
So water. Too much doesn't matter. Too little is the only thing that matters.
Right. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Use about half of this, which is 8 ounces of rice into about a quart of water. That's way more water than you'll ever need. That's fine, because all we want to do is cook the rice. You're going to want this seasoned well because it's your only time you can season the inside of the rice itself. So we're going to go pretty heavy on it. I'd say 3 real good pinches of salt. And all we have to do is bring that up to boil, drop it down to a simmer. You don't have to worry about throwing it in the oven or covering it and steaming it properly because we've got way more water than we actually want. Once we're happy with the doneness of the rice, we're going to strain it, put it out on a sheet pan, let it cool quickly, and then you got nice fluffy rice. I'm telling you, this is going to change your rice cooking life.
It really will.
We're about 4 minutes out on that rice, and we're done. The ham hocks, put in the beans for its smoky flavor, its gelatin. And so now we're going to pull off all the meat that's there. You'll see there's this really fatty layer of skin. I just remove that and chunk it.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and I keep all this gelatinous, delicious meat right here. Take all of that off. Just slips right off the bone. Just run a knife through it. And that, my friend, is how you do it. I'm just going to add all that pork right back to the beans. We're just going to fold that pork right into the beans. And that, my friends, is a perfect pot of red beans right there. Excuse me.
Is he gonna kill you?
No. We're 60 seconds out on the rice. So I'm just going to drain off the rice. It's not all stuck together.
Put your hand from the other side.
You can see it's all fluffy.
Nice and fluffy.
Yeah. So, rice is done.
Plate her up, big boy.
That's all we're going to do right now. Just plate it up.
Doing rice on top?
Mm-hmm. It's got a bunch of meat and veg. You see how the rice is all stuck together?
Oh, it smells fantastic.
Yeah, it looks great. All right, let's try a bite. Get a little bit of sausage in there. So it's been cooking for like 2.5 hours, and it literally tastes like it's been cooking all day long. It's so tasty. David, let me see what you think. I think it turned out real good. I'd be more than happy to serve this at a restaurant, and I hope you'll try it. Check us out again for another video coming up on cooking at home. It's our new page, and we hope you like it. That's how you make beans.